Welcome back to the Realiest Reviews. Today's review is focused on 2021 movie entitled Black Friday. And the official synopsis of Black Friday is: a group of toy store employees must protect each other from a horde of parasite-infected shoppers. And before I give out my review, please like and subscribe and comment and tell me what I should review next. And when it comes with the movie Black Friday, I felt like Black Friday, it was just okay. It had a lot of potential to be something good, but it just fell flat for me by the end of the movie. Here is my review on this movie. I would say the cast of this movie, it was pretty good. I didn't have a bad time with the cast. I felt like most of the actors in here gave out a good performance with their characters, to say the least. And I would probably say some of my favorite characters that were in this movie would probably have to be Devin Sawa, who was Ken Bates, Ivana Barkiro as Marnie, Ryan Lee as Chris Gadaki, Michael Jai White as Archie, and Bruce Campbell as Jonathan. Those were my favorite characters of this movie, as they were all pretty interesting and they were the characters that you would root for and everything. I felt like many of the employees in this movie were typical Black Friday workers that you would see in real life and everything else. And I felt like many of their performances in this movie, they were pretty good. When it came to the horror elements of this movie does have a lot of horror in it throughout the entire movie. And the horror elements, you could say that it worked for this movie, as it was disturbing to say the least, with how some people were killed off and everything, how some people, whenever they were possessed and everything, their transformations looked pretty disturbing, to say the least. And I would say when it came to like the makeup and everything with how these creatures look, I felt like the creatures, the makeup design was not bad, honestly, as it was a little bit disturbing with how some of them looked and everything, with all of the blood coming out of their faces, the disturbing missing features and everything else. Like the horror elements and the makeup features of this movie was not bad. And I would say maybe the first things that I did not like about this movie was the plot. Don't get me wrong, I felt like the first half of the plot, like the first act of the plot, it was promising. Like it felt like to me like something bigger, crazier was going to happen with this movie. But I felt like after the first act, things slowly started to like dwindle for me when it came with this movie. Like this movie was all over the place when it came to certain plot elements that I don't even know that the producers thought about. And I felt like this movie could have been a lot bigger, a lot something special than what it was, but unfortunately it wasn't. Another thing that I did not like about this movie was that I felt like the CGI when it came to like the main villain of this movie was pretty atrocious. Like it looked like something that you would see off of the movies Ghostbusters, with how it looked and everything. Like slowly, like when it was just like slowly becoming bigger and bigger, like I felt like the CGI just got a little bit more cheesy looking and everything else. And whenever it was like showing off his powers, you can definitely tell that it was pretty bad CGI when you look at it and everything else. With my thoughts on the ending of the movie, I felt like the ending showed that it was far from over. Like they may have been able to take down the villain in the store, but to me it looked like there was a bigger and much worser monster already out in the streets, when far away from where they was. But yeah, Black Friday, I felt like this movie had a lot more potential than what it did, but it sadly fell flat to me in the very end. And how I would rate Black Friday out of 5 stars, I would probably rate Black Friday maybe 2.5 stars out of 5. So I would say thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.